Hi, Krista McCoy with Global Fashionistas, and today we have Ebony Chanel Bruce, who is an up-and-coming student here in London, learning all about fashion design, PR, management, everything. And man, you've got some fresh new ideas here in London, and we are really excited to have her for an interview.
Yeah.
So, Ebony, tell me a little bit about your fashion style.
My style's a bit funky, but then a bit classic. I like designers like Henry Holland, PPQ, but then I like things like Gucci, but still like Vivienne Westwood, so it's a mix really, what I'm feeling in the day.
So is it like international or is it mostly London? I mean,
mostly London.
Mostly London,
yeah.
Okay. And do you normally get your inspiration just by walking around London? Because I know obviously you're living in London, you're from London. And so do you walk around and you're like, oh, I really like that, I wonder where it's from, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, I do. I like to go to vintage shops, go to markets, I like to hang around Camden, North London, and I like to get my inspiration from other people a lot of the time.
Cool. Now, from what I understand now, you and me communicating, you really liked Camden. Tell me about what you love about Camden.
I like the bars, I like how it's relaxed. You could go out in trainers and leggings or anything. You could go out in the tutu, no one would look at you. So
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been there and I actually have seen people walking around in tutus.
Yes.
Ebony, what are your plans for the future? How are you going to get there?
Well, I want to get a lot of experience. I'd like to work for some different PR companies, get to know what's in the business, make lots of contacts, and maybe travel a bit with my work. So maybe work freelance. I've really got an interest in styling and makeup as well. So I think work at as many shows as I can and work with as many photographers and designers and just really get to know how I'm going to get my PR future to come together.
So you definitely don't want to be one of those that's, you know, behind the table like, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen. You want to be like out there. You want to be like communicating with people. Understanding that you're young, but you're up and coming. And you know a lot of history about fashion. What can you see over the trends of time, and what do you see in the future?
So instead of the designers trickling down to the street style, it's now designers actually go out there, trend spot, they like forecast what's going to be happening in the coming years, and they like copy people on the streets and turn that into the designs. But the funny thing is that a lot of the people on the street don't want to wear it anymore because it's not as cool when it's like a £500 jacket opposed to one in a vintage store.
So now that the fashion designers are actually going to the streets for their inspiration, do you think they're going to continue down that route, or do you think that they're going to realize what's happening and then just go back up to where they come up with their own ideas straight from the can?
I think maybe soon they're going to realise what's happening and change their ideas a bit, because I don't know if everyone's going to buy into it as much. I think it's more the upper class people are buying into it more than the regular people, and with the recession it's just not accessible to some people.
That's true. And now that really, really upper class clothing is available at a reasonable price, perhaps you're going to, oh wait a second, what's the point? It's kind of like a flip-flop, and then the street people are going to start wearing the upper class clothes, the upper class people are wearing the street clothes.
And a lot of people are getting into recycling clothes more now, and it's less about buying, it's more about what you can do with it.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, is that a trend that you see here in London?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Like people are adding studs, like chains, everything. And people even open shops online doing it. It's simple things, but it's a thing people can do at home. It'd be a good way to start in design.
In PR and events, which is what you really enjoy doing, what do you enjoy most about it? I mean, it's such a specific area.
I like the excitement of organising, getting things ready, liaising with people. I love talking to people, meeting new people, and just putting on an event, and all the hard work, you just see it, and sometimes it'll only last 10 minutes, the show, but it's just so exciting getting everything done. It could be months and months or weeks and weeks. It's just, I find it really exciting and thrilling to do.
Cool. So maybe 5-10 years down the line, do you see yourself having your own PR company for fashion?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So living in London, I'm sure that you see fashion differently within, may I say, parts of society? What are the big differentiations between certain societies within London fashion?
I would say a lot with the areas in London as well, like East and West. Some people believe that they dress a bit funkier in the East, and maybe it's to do with like the club nights and the different vintage shops that are around. Like a lot of people can sort of tell what part of London you're from when they see you.
Is there a difference in clothing between the working class and maybe the entrepreneur or the non-working class?
I think maybe down to the tailoring and the style of clothing, more like the quality of it. That's how I would be able to tell. But maybe some people can't.
That's true.
Yeah.
And now, because I noticed over my travels that now that we have companies like Forever 21 and you guys have something like Next and you know, just these large companies that are able to sell you really, really high fashion things for a reasonable price, it kind of levels the playing field for what people can wear on a daily basis. And do you find that to be true in London also?
Yeah, I do. Like having this high fashion, it doesn't last as long, but if you want to have a certain look one night, then it's available to you now. And it's quite, I think there's more thing that's changed. It's quite cool to get a bargain nowadays. It never used to be, but I think it's high streets going up there still.
So growing up as a little girl, did you always know that you wanted to be into fashion and go down that route? Was there something that inspired you when you were younger? How did that work for you?
I think I was always into art. I was always drawing. When other kids were playing outside, I was on the floor drawing on wallpaper or something like that, on the bits of like printer paper, and it was always like that. And then when I was like 9, I started drawing clothes designs and things like that, but now it's moved on a bit more.
So what advice would you give people, you know, young girls or teenagers, if they want to kind of go down the field that you're going right now?
I would say help out as much as you can, get as much experience, maybe get a job in a shop. Just every fashion show that you hear of, just volunteer.
And do you feel that maybe perhaps a lot of research, like you said, not only volunteering and really getting in there, but you know, doing your due research?
Yeah, research. Read all the magazines that you've never heard of before. Come to London if you haven't, have a look around. Try and find places that are not so touristy and just have a look around, do some sketches. Just get yourself involved in it, I think.
So as a female in the fashion industry, do you meet a lot of guys? Like, how does that work? Are there a lot of guys that go to your college?
There are a few, but the ratio is more like 10 girls to 2 guys.
Okay, so from your knowledge right now, who do you feel designs most of the men's clothing?
I think there's some new designers at the moment. Aggie and Sam is one to watch out for. They're a really good print-based company, and they're right out there. They're young, and they actually interned for Alexander McQueen, so they're ones to watch.
So as a woman getting into the fashion industry, and you particularly like PR and events, correct? How do you feel you can really go out there and just go at it, make it happen, and become very successful? Like, do you have any goals, any desires, anything that you do?
I think at the moment it's get as much experience that I can, get involved as much as I can, help out wherever I can, and just, I think a lot of learning takes a lot, because I've only just started, so there's a long way to go, but it's going to be exciting and interesting.
In the college, what other things are you learning?
We're learning about shop statuses, blogging, event management, what else are we learning? Magazine, like lots of things really. So much to be cramming. We do about 3 projects at a time, and it's just also hectic, but it's really good.
And I remember at one point you mentioned something about internships.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Basically, a lot of the work that we do is either unpaid or just skill-based, and you just work in turn for the skills and knowledge that you acquire from a lot of companies. Like at Fashion Week, I just worked just as skills, but it was so worth it.
And what is one thing that you really, really love about fashion?
I think just how you can express yourself, being creative. Like I've always loved art and design, and just the way that you can interpret it how you like.
So some people would say that fashion is what you want because that's who you are. But other people would say, I see a piece of fashion and I want that because that's who I want to become. How would you describe it?
I think a lot of it is what you want to become, because the way they advertise products and the way they market them, it's like you're chasing a dream. It's like what you want to be, and I think it's really clever how they do that to people. It's clever the way they market things like that, because it's like you're chasing the dream of what you want to become, and it's like you can buy a slice of that designer. Like celebrity designers, it reminds me of that a lot, like Victoria Beckham. It's because girls want to be her, and then it feels like they are her.
And out here you might consider like Kate Middleton, for example. You see a dress that she's wearing, and I actually saw an advert for this where they showed the article that she was wearing, what she was out with, the Queen, and then they were like, oh, by the way, you can buy this at this store at a discounted rate, and you're like, oh, I want to buy that because Kate Middleton wore it.
Yeah, she actually wears high street, so.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's very similar, and I know out in the United States it's the same thing. All the celebrities, it's all about celebrity endorsement.
Yes.
Who or what. And as we know, I'm sure you're probably learning this in college, is most of the time they're paying those celebrities to wear that.
More than ever.
Yeah, exactly. So right now you're going to a fashion design school, or how would you describe the school that you're going to?
It's just a university, and then they've got a big art and design department, and my degree is called Fashion Design, Styling and Promotion. But it's nothing to do with the design, it's just after the clothes are made until they're on your back. So everything in between that.
Wow. So that sounds like a lot. So after they're made until when they hit your closet, really?
Yeah, until that.
So what kind of steps are in between there?
Like the buying, merchandising, advertising, just everything to make you buy them, basically.
Okay, got it. So mostly advertising.
Yeah.
But then you're right, I mean, promotion, because obviously getting it out there, like maybe with celebrities. You know, you want celebrity endorsements, or you want it to be product placement.
Yep.
So do you learn all about that in the school that you're going to?
Yeah, because you have to think, when you read a magazine, sometimes there's products in the magazine that you think they might not be there because the editor likes them. They might have given the whole staff a free item or something like that. So you have to think of clever ways to get your products out there.
As a consumer, if you're looking through a magazine and you see a great, amazing article, and you're like, oh, reading this, and it says like advertisement.
Yeah.
Or let's just say you see an advertisement and you go, oh, advertisement, oh, that's what's really good. Keep in mind that it may not be the hottest thing or the best thing for you.
Yeah.
But it's just like you said, it might just be because they paid for that, or they've
networked well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good tip to give people. So was there ever a time in your life where you felt like maybe you weren't really unsure of who you were fashion-wise, and how did you come into finding yourself?
I think my fashion might have changed slightly when I moved to London. I've been here like nearly 6 months now, and I think I've got more, not outrageous, but more daring with things I wear. And also I think the people, I get more inspiration from the streets here than back at home in Oxfordshire.
I mean, in London, do you have like a favorite area or a favorite shop that you like to go to? I mean, I know you like Camden, right? Are there any other places that you like in order for inspiration, or even just who you are?
For High Street, I love Topshop, and then I do love Vintage Shop to get the pieces, and I love to mix things together. I do like designer as well, but obviously it's less of that.
And tell me about the outfit that you're wearing today.
I've just got a summer outfit on. I don't know why. I've been feeling a bit hot this week.
It was kind of warm today, right? Yeah.
But I had it on with a big jumper and a scarf. But this is just from Republic, just a summer maxi dress. It's actually too long, but I don't mind.
It's really cute. I like the birds and everything. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. And how do you normally wear your hair? Like, what's a normal Ebony hair wear day?
Normally it's straightened, but today I thought I'd have it curly because it's like 10 minutes, but straightened it's like 2 hours. But normally I straighten it or have it up. It just depends how I'm feeling. Whatever my outfit is, I change my hair to do with it.
That's cool. You know, me too. I'm the same way. And so, like, when you're going out, do you normally have like a go-to hairstyle, or do you normally just wear it down?
Normally long, straight, down. But if I'm going somewhere where I've got a detailed dress, then maybe put it up just to take all the emphasis off.
And I understand that you're really into Fashion Week. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
It was just amazing. It was really good. Got lots of new experiences, lots of goodie bags. It was just really good. My first Fashion Week, so.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Ebony, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate having you. It's so great to be in London and just be in the excitement of everything. And
thank you for having me as well.
So welcome. Thank you. Again, Krista McCoy, Global Fashionistas, coming to you with Ebony in London.